They called him the difference maker before anyone had time to process how he arrived. Joan Garcia, who stood like a wall between Barcelona and defeat in that 1-1 draw with Rayo Vallecano, produced a string of point-blank saves that felt less like luck and more like destiny. But while fans were cheering every fingertip save, the boardroom story behind his arrival was quietly exploding, Espanyol's sporting director openly saying what nobody expected. There were no calls, no contacts, those 4 words turned a heroic match night into a transfer mystery overnight. How does a player who cost Euros 25 million move from a city rival to Barcelona with apparently zero negotiation? That question is what we are unravelling now. The simplest answer sits in plain sight: the release clause. Barcelona, like any realistic suitor, met the legal requirement. A clause is a clause, and the money changed hands. But even that blunt mechanical description understates what happened in human terms. Espanyol's Fran Garagaza framed it plainly. They always knew the kid had top-level potential. They had turned down offers and refused to open negotiations below the clause. And when the moment came, it was the clause plus a modest inflation adjustment that settled it. There's irony here. A clause designed to give a club protection suddenly becomes the instrument of a forced departure, and the club left with no time, no face-to-face talks, and only the sound of the agent's pen and online filings to mark the transfer. From Espanyol's perspective, it's a wound. From Barcelona's, it's a bargain that strengthens a vulnerable position in goal. But there's texture beyond legalities. Garagaza also revealed that there was active Premier League interest before Barcelona moved. A top-flight club had even sat down with Espanyol's CEO and sporting director to explore options. Those talks, however, did not produce the clause payment. That detail makes the Barcelona deal feel less like a conspiracy and more like timing, opportunity, and decisive action. When an agent signals a party is prepared to deposit a clause, and a buyer has the will and the finances, the transaction can accelerate faster than the rival club's ability to respond. It's the speed of modern football business, where an email or an agent's whisper can outrun a formal phone call. On the field, though, Joan Garcia's night was the cleanest rebuttal to critics who ask whether Barcelona overpaid. The Euros 25 million tag has been called both a scandal and a steal by different corners of the internet, but when a goalkeeper makes repeated last-ditch saves and hands his team a lifeline, the money suddenly starts to look like an investment that paid immediate dividends. For Barcelona managers and fans alike, the priority is match results. A confident goalkeeper stabilizes a defense and changes how a coach builds the team. For Espanyol, meanwhile, the financial injection is real. Garagaza noted the club grew with that money, but the intangible loss of a homegrown-like talent and the optics of a no-contact to sting harder. This transfer also exposes deeper industry truths. Release clauses exist to protect players and clubs alike, yet they can also be the blunt instrument of enforced mobility. Agents, too, play a starring role. The sporting director only learned it was done through press rumours and then the agent's confirmation. That sequence underlines a power shift. Clubs used to be the gatekeepers of transfers. Now sometimes the clause and the agent's timing set the narrative. Fans will debate whether Barca acted ethically or cleverly, whether Espanyol should have moved differently, or whether the whole transfer system needs reform to prevent cold, clause-triggered blows between city rivals. Where does this leave us next? Watch how Barcelona integrates Garcia into their tactical setup and whether his performances continue to justify the headline price. Watch Espanyol's response off the pitch, reinvestment, replacement, or a legal scrutiny of the clause mechanics. And watch the market reaction, because a high-profile, clause-triggered move between rivals will prompt other clubs to re-examine their own release protections and negotiation strategies. For now, the image is simple and potent. A goalkeeper who saved a point on the field and a sporting director who revealed, plain as day, that the move happened without the usual niceties. That contrast between the drama of the match and the silence of the negotiations is exactly why this story will stay headline news. The question that follows every fan, analyst and rival is the same. Did Barca exploit a loophole, or did they simply act faster? Either way, Joan Garcia's name is now at the centre of a story that will shape conversations about transfer power, club relationships, and how modern football really gets made.